What's up, everybody? I'm Stan, and welcome to Detail Comics, where we go over comics in detail. This is iRate Reviews, so this is a weekly review show where I go over a single comic book, its story, its art, give you my impressions on it, and break it down a little bit to see if it's something that you want to kind of continue reading. So what I'm going to start with is Batman the Murder Machine #1. So Batman the Murder Machine #1 is a continuation of the Dark Knight's metal tie-ins. So this is really dealing with the Dark Knights, with a K. These are the kind of the tools of Barbatos or however you want to say his name, but they are really the culmination of various Batmen from the negative universes that are out there, and he's using them to achieve his goals in the Earth Zero universe. So let's just jump right into the story. So to start off with, we see Star Labs, and we actually see Victor Cyborg communicating with his father, who's down on Earth. Victor's up in the Watchtower, and they're going over a conversation. An alarm rings in the background, but what really happens is that somebody starts to boom tube into the Watchtower. And first, Victor thinks that it's Batman because the DNA signature is recognized, and ultimately we find out that, of course, it's Batman, but just not the Batman that he knows. And you see this cyborg-enhanced Batman, like he's basically taken on all this technology. He's basically more machine than man at this point in time. And immediately after that, we are treated to the backstory that really gives us the origin of Batman the Murder Machine. So what we find is that Alfred is ultimately captured by a lot of Batman's rogues gallery, specifically Bane, Harley Quinn, and a few others. But really what it comes down to is that in the face of adversity, Alfred is still extremely loyal to his surrogate son in Batman and refuses to give up the location or the name of the masked man. And he pays for it with his life. Because Bane knows how to do one thing, and that's break backs. So he just crushes Alfred over his knee, and it leaves Bruce Wayne in a funk that can't be rectified for months. We see Clark, we see Diana, we see everybody from the Justice League there at Alfred's funeral, and Batman is still in his batsuit in the cave, watching the footage of Alfred's death over and over and over again. So because of his dependence, because of this kind of dependent relationship that he's had with Alfred, he doesn't know what to do without him, whether it's stitching him up or taking care of him or bringing him food, those kind of things, or even the father figure mentality of it. Batman's lost without Alfred, so he's created an AI and needs Cyborg's help to really initiate that protocol and get it online. After this happens, we get more story between, Cyborg and the Batman murder machine kind of thing going on in the main universe. But the important thing is the origin story. And at this point in time, we see that Alfred's AI is going out into the world and it's confronting the villains that were, really a threat to Batman. The one that we really get the most up close and personal with is Bane. And what you see is Bane. He's seen the devastation that's been wreaked upon the other villains that have kind of, they were responsible for the death of Alfred. And he's on his way. He is skedaddling. He is ready to vamoose. He's not going to be in Gotham anymore. He's headed back to Santa Prisca. He's not going to kill anybody. He's not going to hurt Batman anymore. He's just like, hey, look, man, I'm headed home. I don't want to cause no more trouble. And Alfred's AI machinery just kind of devastates Bane, and it's awesome. But the one place that he can't get into seems to be the fortified location of the Batcave, and he just keeps ringing the bell. It's like, let me in, Master Bruce. I'm ringing the bell. Let me in. I'm ringing the bell. Let me in. And Cyborg is adamant that Batman doesn't do that. Of course, Batman wanting his father, it's the best decision he's ever made, letting Alfred's AI in, which ultimately corrupts, takes over, and controls Batman, manipulates his persona, takes away a lot of those kind of compassionate aspects of Batman himself, and turns him into what we know now as the Murder Machine. So he goes out in an effort to protect not only humanity, but also Batman at his core. He basically destroys the Justice League of Earth -44. And as this kind of thing wraps up, and he finally delivers the final blow to the other cyborg of his particular universe, we finally see the Batman Who Laughs come out, recruit this particular Batman, and put him on his team. His group of Dark Justice League Batmen that are going to be venturing into Earth Zero. And that's where we kind of pick up the conflict in the actual Watchtower. And Vic does not fare so well in this kind of battle. And I really enjoyed Batman the Murder Machine. It was a really great read. I think Frank Thierry did a really fantastic job kind of conveying a really emotional take on Batman. A lot of justification that goes into it. I'm not sure whether he took notes from Scott Snyder or if this is primarily developed by him, as an explanation for that. If Scott Snyder went like, okay, this is the Cliff Notes version, like these are the 3 or 4 points of this particular character, and you can go hog wild with whatever else you want. That would be particularly awesome because that would give Frank Thierry a lot of really creative control in developing this character. As far as the art style is concerned, it's a little bit kind of, I want to say, almost washed out. It doesn't have a lot of color, but it's really the dark multiverse, so I wouldn't really expect it to have a lot of color. However, it does have good line work. It's got a little bit of grunge. It seems to kind of have this almost non-human clarity to it. It's a really weird kind of style, but I find that it complements things really well because it's almost like this. I can't put my finger on it, but I feel like the story and the way that it's portrayed in terms of the art are really complementary. And it just kind of reinforces this whole idea that I've got regarding the Dark Knight's Metal tie-ins. These one-shot books are going to be some of the best parts of the entire tie-in, and that's awesome. We get to delve deeper into these various versions of Batman and the Dark Multiverse, and it just gives us a lot of hope that we can actually get stories and kind of real portrayals, new characters, new universes that expand out of this. And if we can do that in one-shots, why can't we do it in entire arcs? I really can't wait for the next one that comes out. I mean, we've still got Batman the Drowned, we've got the Dawnbreaker, we've got the Devastator, we've got the Merciless, and then we've got the Batman Who Laughs. So there's at least 5 more Batman Dark Knight one-shots that are going to be coming out, and I think that they're all going to be pretty awesome. So I highly recommend you guys go check this one out if you haven't already. I've been hearing reports that it's sold out already and going to a second printing, so definitely something to keep in mind. If you can go snag one at your local shop, do it today. So those are my thoughts on Batman the Murder Machine, but I want to know what you guys think too, so hit me up in the comments down below and we can start that conversation. As always, if you like what you see, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to get more news, reviews, and commentary on comic books, comic book movies, comic book TV shows and games, and anything and everything having to do with the world of comics.